Hello everybody, my name is buzzycombs and welcome to some more Minecraft Dinotopia. Today I am bringing forth my third carnivore, and that carnivore is going to be the Dilophosaurus, and I have 3 of that DNA. Now if you look at my chest for a moment, you can see that I've actually slightly reorganized it. I put all of my carnivores on the top row, all of my aquatic creatures in the second, all of my flyers in the third, and my herbivores all along the bottom. Because I thought this would be a nice visual way to display all the different types of DNA I have. Anyway, so I'm going to throw my Dilophosaurus into the culture vat and get started on the enclosure. Now, for where I want the enclosure to be, I think I might actually flatten a little bit of land in front of my home. That way I could get a better visual of the area in front of me. So, really fast, I'm just going to do a bit of terraforming. Okay, so I finished terraforming, and I would like my Dilophosaurus enclosure to be in this little divot right here. So I'm actually not going to do the entrance first because I feel like we're going to have a bit of a curved shape along this area. But once I figure out a bit more of what the shape is going to be, I'll work out exactly where I want the entrance to go. Okay, so this is roughly the shape I would like for the enclosure. So now I think I would like to place the entrance right about here. Now I just need to dig out a little bit of the ground, replace it with sand and dirt, lay down the glass, and add the fences. Alright, so the exterior of the enclosure is all finished. Now onto the interior. So the first thing I would like to add to the enclosure is actually a cozy little cave in this back corner. Because honestly, I feel like the Dilophosaurus would be a little bit of a cave dweller. So first thing I'm going to do is dig out a little bit of space right here. Honestly, I probably dug out more than I should, but we can decorate any of the excess space with a bit of stone. Now what I would like to do is start digging out a bit more, and just like that, we have ourselves a cave entrance. Now I'm going to hollow out a bit of an open cavity down here because I don't want it to be too small, but I also don't want it to be too big. I think I lied because this is pretty big. But now what I'd like to do is dig out a little bit of space in the center, and then in the middle of this, I'm going to have a tiny bit of space. And what this is going to be is actually a little underground pond. Granted, I do think I might have to hollow out just a hair more space. Oh, hello. We dug into a cave. Anyway, so as I was saying, I'm going to actually hollow out a little bit more space. That way the Dilophosaurus actually has a bit of walk room because I don't want this entire thing just to be a pond. I want it to have... Oh, water, no! I want it to have a little bit more purpose than just a place for the Dilophosaurus to drink water because I'd also like to situate the feeder in here. Okay, so this is how big I would like the cave to be. Now, it's definitely bigger than I planned, but honestly, I really love how it's looking. So now I just need to rough up the edges a little bit and make it feel a bit more cave-like. And this is how our cave is looking. I have used a mixture of rocky stone, andesite, and smooth stone, and then I threw in some slabs, stairs, and of course a couple of walls. Now for the pond, I thought it would be really cool to have a stalagmite, stalactite, whatever it's called when it touches both the top and bottom, in the middle of the pond. And I also made the entrance perfectly climb upable, so we don't have to jump at all to get in and out. Now what I would like to start doing is adding a little bit more to close it off around the top. That way it's not just gaping in the open like it is right now. And there we go, it now feels a bit more sunken into the ground. Now the next thing I would like to do is start slowly kind of gradienting away into the rest of the enclosure, and I think this is looking pretty good. Now that I finished the cave, the next thing I would like to do is grab a few emeralds, trade for some Failure-saurus flesh, and craft some more bio goo. Because what I would like to do now is grab a bunch of these plant fossils and start analyzing them all because I would like to decorate the enclosure with some new prehistoric plants. Alright, and all the planks are ready. So what I'm going to do is hoe a little bit of land. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should just have one little strip. So let me just break all this real quick. And here, I'm going to experiment with all of these cool looking plants. Oh, it's purple and pink. Oh my god. Oh, it grew over there. Perfect, because I'm going to be putting it there. That is so pretty. We also got a... Oh, that grows taller. Ooh, that is awesome. And then we'll just go through all the rest of them. Oh my gosh, that is tall and I love it. Oh, yes. Okay, so I have a bunch of really cool plants from this, and sadly not enough room to display them all. But I am really, really happy with how these all look, and of course I'm going to have to use them for the enclosure. However, there is one final plant I still need to address, and that is the calamite sapling. So I learned last time that these fossils and archaeology trees are really big, so I'm going to set it outside and bone meal it. Oh, that's really interesting and also pretty freaking cool. That is such a weird leaf pattern, but honestly, I'm kind of digging it. And I think this looks like green wood. Yep, it's a very deep green. Very cool. I love it. So now the question is, what am I going to do for the Dilophosaurus enclosure? Well, I noticed a lot of these plants seem to be pretty tropical themed, so I think it'll be really cool to decorate the enclosure with a bunch of these tropical looking plants. Before I do that, however, I would actually like to go into a jungle and grab a few jungle saplings, because with how tropical all these plants are, I feel like jungle trees would be the perfect fit for the enclosure. We've got plenty of jungle trees ripe for the picking over here, so I'm just going to chop down a few of the smaller ones and hope they drop enough saplings to satisfy my hunger. Gone bananas? I got a banana? Oh my gosh! I have a banana! Oh, that's so funny. I have no idea what it's used for, but I have a banana, and that's all that matters. Okay, so I have cleared out quite a few trees, and now I have 29 saplings, which should be more than plenty for my plants. So now I'm just going to bone meal the ground a little bit, get a little bit of grass sprinkled here and there, and next I'm going to sprinkle in a bunch of jungle trees. Now I'm going to sprinkle in a bit of lush foliage in the form of bushes. Alright, and the bushes have now been added. Now the last thing I would like to do is sprinkle in a few of these prehistoric plants, particularly this beautiful thing right here, just to get that a little bit more lush foliage. Okay, and now I have finished laying the plants. And honestly, as usual, I probably went a little bit overkill, but who can blame me? They all look so freaking cool. Now, the last thing I need to do for this enclosure is add the feeder. And that is going to go in this very far corner of the cave right here. And of course, I need to now fill it up. And now I can finally lay the 3 Dilophosaurus eggs. And here we are! 3 beautiful baby Dilophosauruses. And it looks like we've got 2 females and a male. So chances are we are going to have more than these 3 very, very soon. Now, if you have any name suggestions for my marvelous new little critters who have some very abrasive calls, please let me know in the comments down below and I will happily pick some. Unfortunately, though, this will have to conclude today's episode. I know we have a bunch of names for my galleys and my tacos, but I have run out of time because life gets hectic sometimes. Anyway, so thank you all so much for watching this episode of Minecraft Dinotopia. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And without further ado, thank you all so much again for watching, and I guess I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!